Welcome to Bird World, deep in the wild heart of Gabon, a corner of Africa where rainforests hum, rivers glitter, and every branch hides a surprise with feathers. Let me ask you something. If nature threw a party for the most colorful, strangest birds on Earth, would Gabon steal the show? Stay till the end, because that answer might just surprise you. Here, the skies aren't quiet. They sing. The African fish eagle screams like thunder over the Ogooué River, while the Great Blue Turaco strolls through the canopy like a royal guest late to the ceremony. You've got parrots that talk back, hornbills that sound like laughing pirates, and bee-eaters so bright they make the sunset jealous. Some birds here guard ancient secrets, others break every rule we thought we knew about flying, family, and beauty itself. But together they turn Gabon into a living rainbow that never stays still. So here's the real question. Are these the most beautiful birds in the world, or just the boldest proof that Mother Nature still has a sense of humor? If freedom had a soundtrack, this bird would be singing the anthem. Meet the African fish eagle, the voice of Gabon's wild rivers and one of Africa's most legendary hunters. That cry, you've heard it before, in every African documentary ever made. It's the sound of drama, danger, and perfection with wings. Perched high above the Ogooué River, this bird scans the water like a sniper with binoculars. Then, in one smooth move, boom! It dives, talons first, slicing the surface like a blade. One splash, one fish, one clean getaway. You almost expect it to wink at the camera. But here's the twist. The African fish eagle doesn't just hunt, it steals. If another bird catches a fish first, this guy swoops in and takes it right out of midair. Efficient? Yes. Ethical? Debatable. Nature's got no laws against piracy, apparently. It's also the ultimate symbol of power, the national bird of several African countries, including Zambia and Zimbabwe. In Gabon, it's seen as a messenger between earth and sky, a living bridge between the calm of water and the chaos of storms. And get this, even their partnerships are intense. Fish eagles mate for life, and they sing duets to mark their territory. It's not a gentle love song, more like a rock concert echoing through the valley. Romantic? Maybe. Loud? Definitely. You can almost imagine the female rolling her eyes like, "Okay, dear, the whole jungle heard you." Again still, when you see one soaring over Gabon's rivers, white head gleaming against the deep green forest, you get it. This isn't just another raptor. It's the spirit of the wild. Proud, loud, a little arrogant. Kind of like that one friend who's too good at everything. So what do you think? Is the African fish eagle the true king of Gabon's skies? Or just a dramatic show-off with good lighting and timing? Drop your verdict in the comments. Because one thing's for sure, this bird doesn't just catch fish, it catches attention. If the African fish eagle is the king of Gabon's skies, then the Great Blue Turaco is the royal peacock of its rainforests. Bright, elegant, and absolutely unapologetic about how good it looks. Seriously, this bird walks into the jungle like it's late for a fashion show. Blue-green, yellow-red. Every feather looks hand-painted. It's as if Mother Nature said, "Okay, for this one, no limits." And somehow she still kept it classy. You can't miss it. It's huge, almost the size of a chicken, but moves with the grace of a dancer. And that voice, deep, bubbly, and weirdly human, like someone laughing into a bottle of soda. Locals in Gabon say when you hear that call, the forest itself is chuckling. But here's the thing. Despite its royal looks, the Great Blue Turaco isn't a predator or fighter. It's a gentle giant, eating fruit and spreading seeds that help the rainforest grow back again and again. Basically, it's the gardener of Gabon's jungle, feeding itself and the future at the same time. And here's your fun fact of the day. These birds are terrible flyers. They can glide short distances, but mostly hop from branch to branch, looking dramatic while trying not to fall. Imagine a supermodel in high heels trying to climb stairs. Majestic, but one misstep from disaster. They live in groups, always gossiping and moving together, a mix of color and noise that feels more like a carnival than a flock. And when the sun hits their feathers through the rainforest canopy, the entire world seems to glow. It's no wonder some tribes once believed the Great Blue Turaco carried messages from the gods. Even today, seeing one feels like spotting a myth in motion. So what do you think? Is it the most beautiful bird in Gabon, or just the most overdressed one? Because in bird world, beauty might get you noticed, but confidence? That's what keeps you flying. If the Great Blue Turaco is the beauty of Gabon's rainforest, then the gray parrot is definitely the brains. This bird isn't just smart, it's might steal your job smart. With sleek silver feathers and a bright red tail, it doesn't look flashy, but don't be fooled. That calm stare is hiding a supercomputer. Scientists say the African gray can understand human words, solve puzzles, even use logic. Logic. Meanwhile, most of us forget where we put our car keys. They don't just mimic sounds, they use them. A gray parrot can hear you say hello once and repeat it later, in your voice, at the creepiest possible time. Some owners swear their parrots gossip when they leave the room. Imagine your Alexa, but with feathers, opinions, and zero filter. In Gabon, these parrots live deep in the rainforest canopy, flying in flocks that chatter nonstop. Their conversations sound like laughter, whistles, and arguments all at once. It's chaos, but intelligent chaos. You can almost picture them debating, "Did you hear what that hornbill said today?" But intelligence isn't always a blessing. These birds remember faces, form bonds, and can even get lonely if separated from their flock or humans. They've got emotional depth that rivals dogs, which makes it heartbreaking that they're often captured for the pet trade. Some live 50, even 60 years, long enough to outlive their owners. Now that's loyalty, and maybe a little awkward inheritance planning. Fun fact, a famous gray parrot named Alex could identify shapes, colors, and even answer questions like a toddler. When asked what color he was, he replied, "Gray." Talk about self-awareness. We're one existential crisis away from them asking for voting rights. So what do you think? Are gray parrots proof that intelligence isn't just human? Or are they nature's way of keeping us humble? Either way, one thing's certain. In the bird world of Gabon, you might have the beauty, you might have the power, but this bird, it's got the brains. If the gray parrot was the brain of the forest, then the black-cast hornbill is the voice. Deep, booming, impossible to ignore. You don't see this bird at first. You hear it. A rolling whoosh through the trees, like a helicopter trying to sneak through the jungle. Then it appears, enormous, black, with a massive yellow bill topped by a helmet-like casque. That thing isn't decoration. It's a built-in speaker system. Every wing beat echoes through Gabon's canopy like thunder bouncing off the leaves. If birds had soundtracks, this one would play heavy metal. It's big, almost the size of a small turkey, and it moves with that calm confidence of something that knows nothing in the forest messes with it. When it flies overhead, monkeys pause mid-bite like, "Okay, boss is here." But for all its power, the hornbill's love life is the real drama. When the female lays eggs, she seals herself inside a tree hole, literally walls herself in with mud and fruit pulp. The male brings her food through a tiny slit for months until the chicks hatch and they break free together. Now that's commitment, or maybe just extreme parenting. Fun fact, their diet's not all meat. They love fruit, which makes them critical for the rainforest. Every time they swallow a fig or berry, they're spreading seeds across miles of jungle. So yeah, this terrifying bird of thunder is secretly the forest's best gardener. And despite their fearsome look, they're surprisingly shy around humans. Try to film one in Gabon, and you'll hear it long before you find it. It's the celebrity that refuses interviews. So what do you think? Is the black-cast hornbill a forest guardian? Or just a loud-winged rock star with great hair and commitment issues? Either way, when it roars through the trees, you can feel the heartbeat of Gabon itself. Strong, wild, and impossible to silence. If the black-cast hornbill is the forest's heavy metal star, then the African pied hornbill is definitely the comedian of the family. Smaller, louder, and somehow always in the middle of the drama. You'll spot it easily. Black and white feathers like it's wearing a tuxedo, and that oversized banana-shaped bill that looks one size too big for its face. Every time it tilts its head, it gives off this, "I just heard something juicy" vibe. And you know what? It probably did. The pied hornbill spends its days bouncing from branch to branch, snatching insects, fruits, even lizards. Basically, whatever it can swallow whole. It's not graceful, but it's enthusiastic. You could say it's the golden retriever of Gabon's canopy. Always busy, always noisy, always lovable. Their call? Oh, you'll hear it. A sharp ka-ka-ka-ka that echoes through the forest like a group of kids laughing at their own joke. If the jungle had a sense of humor, this bird would be the punchline. Here's the twist, though. Behind that goofy charm lies one of nature's most loyal partners. When it's nesting season, the female does the same crazy ritual as her bigger cousins, sealing herself inside a tree hole to lay eggs. The male stands guard and brings her food for weeks, faithfully delivering meals like a winged DoorDash driver. If that's not devotion, what is? And fun fact, researchers found that these birds play a huge role in replanting the rainforest. All those fruits they eat, the seeds come out later, ready to grow into new trees. So yes, the clown of the jungle is also the forest's best recycler. But here's the real reason they're unforgettable. They make the jungle feel alive. Every sound, every flutter, every laugh they let out adds a spark of chaos to the calm green world. So what do you think? Is the African pied hornbill the class clown of Gabon's rainforest, or the unsung hero keeping it growing? Either way, the jungle would be a lot quieter and a lot less fun without it. After the chaos and laughter of the pied hornbill, it's time to meet the quiet elder of the family. The African gray hornbill, the thinker of Gabon's jungle. No flashy colors, no wild calls, just calm gray feathers, a long curved bill, and a stare that feels like it's seen 1,000 sunrises. While the other hornbills rush around gossiping in the canopy, this one prefers the stillness. It perches high, surveying everything below, like a forest philosopher who's heard every joke before and isn't impressed anymore. You'll often find it gliding over the treetops, wings wide, call soft and nasal, like it's talking to itself rather than to the world. Even its flight looks deliberate, slow, measured, confident. No rush, no noise, just presence. And here's the cool part. That big bill isn't just for looks. It's perfectly designed for a varied diet. Fruit, insects, even the occasional small reptile. They're opportunists, not picky eaters, but they never take more than they need. It's balance, something we humans could probably learn from. They're also some of the best parents in the bird world. Like their relatives, the female seals herself inside a hollow tree to nest, and the male faithfully feeds her through a narrow slit for weeks. Rain, wind, heat, doesn't matter. He keeps showing up, meal after meal. Now that's commitment you can measure in beakfuls. Fun fact, some researchers think hornbills inspired ancient African art forms. Their curving beaks reflected in tribal masks, symbolizing wisdom and renewal. So in a way, this calm little bird helps shape human imagination. Watch one sit still as the forest wakes up. Bee-eaters flit by, parrots scream overhead. And the gray hornbill doesn't even blink. It just is. Peaceful, observant, timeless. So what do you think? Is the African gray hornbill a symbol of patience and wisdom? Or just a bird that's figured out doing less is the ultimate survival hack? Either way, in a jungle full of noise, sometimes the quiet ones say the most. If the African gray hornbill is the wise elder, then the northern carmine bee-eater is the wild teenager of the sky. Brilliant, fast, loud, and way too good-looking for its own ego. You can't mistake it. That electric red body, blue-green head, and jet-black mask make it look like it flew straight out of a comic book. In Gabon's savannas, when the sun hits those colors, it's like a piece of sunset took flight. No filter needed. Nature's already in HDR. And it's not just a pretty face. This bird's got skills. It hunts bees in midair. No nets, no traps, just perfect timing and pure acrobatics. It dives, flips, and catches its prey with surgical precision, then smacks it against a branch to squeeze out the stinger. Ouch for the bee, genius for the bird. They live in big colonies carved into riverbanks, rows of tiny burrows like bird apartments. And trust me, it's never quiet there. Hundreds of them chatting, laughing, squabbling. A feathered city that never sleeps. You could call it Bee-Eaterville. Population, fabulous. Here's a fun twist. They actually team up with large animals like elephants and buffalo. While those giants stir up insects from the grass, the bee-eaters swoop in and snag the bugs midair. Teamwork, African style. It's like DoorDash, but the delivery guy is a buffalo. And when they gather by the hundreds to migrate, the sky turns into a moving flame. A red ribbon of life stretching across Africa. Watching that is the kind of moment that makes you forget to breathe. But here's the real question. Is the northern carmine bee-eater the world's most beautiful hunter, or just the flashiest daredevil in feathers? Either way, it's proof that in bird world, style and skill can absolutely share the same wings. So tell me, if you could fly beside one bird just for a day, would you pick the quiet wisdom of the hornbill, or the pure, reckless brilliance of this skyborn artist? If the northern carmine bee-eater is the firework, then the red-throated bee-eater is the whole carnival. Smaller, brighter, and twice as social. This bird doesn't just live in the jungle, it throws parties in it. Picture this, a wall of sandy riverbank in Gabon, covered in hundreds of little holes. Every hole, a nest. Every nest, a bee-eater family, chatting, flying, feeding, and occasionally arguing about who gets the best tunnel. It's chaos, it's color, it's community. Basically a tropical suburb where everyone's loud, but no one minds. These guys are dressed to impress. Emerald green wings, orange chest, and that signature red throat that glows like a ruby in the sun. When they swoop over the river together, it's like a moving rainbow that buzzes with joy. And their teamwork? Legendary. They hunt in groups, taking turns to chase bees and toss them midair to others, like an Olympic relay made of pure precision and drama. But here's the twist. Before they eat, they slam the bee against a branch to remove the stinger. Yes, even beauty has a violent side. Don't let those sparkly feathers fool you. This is a species that means business. Fun fact, bee-eaters are nature's pest control system. A single flock can eat thousands of insects a day, helping keep the ecosystem balanced. So while we humans spray chemicals, these little aerial artists handle it with style and zero carbon footprint. And you have to love their spirit. When one lands on a branch, it's never alone for long. Soon 3 or 4 join, all preening each other, chirping away like they're swapping gossip. It's friendship, feathered and flying. But here's the thing. In a jungle full of fierce hunters and silent stalkers, the red-throated bee-eater reminds us that sometimes survival isn't about power, it's about connection. So what do you think? Would you rather live like the lone eagle or be part of a sky full of laughter and color? Because in bird world, even paradise hums louder when it's shared. If the red-throated bee-eater is the life of the party, then the little bee-eater is the adorable kid who steals the spotlight without even trying. Tiny, colorful, and full of attitude. This bird might be small, but it acts like it owns the whole savanna. At barely 6 inches long, it's the smallest bee-eater in Africa. But don't let that fool you. This thing is a precision pilot. It spots a bee from midair, zips off like a dart, and snatches it with the confidence of a bird twice its size. Then, of course, the signature move, smack, 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 against the branch to remove the stinger. Even the cute ones have rules. With its golden chest, emerald back, and turquoise eyebrows, it looks like it was painted by a child who just discovered crayons. And somehow, every color still works. Seriously, no stylist could have done better. You'll often find them perched low on branches near open grasslands, always in pairs, like little couples having breakfast together. They preen, they chat, they hunt together. A love story written in feathers and sunshine. They're loyal too. Many stay with their mate for life. In bee-eater world, that's saying something. But don't mistake them for softies. When danger comes, they'll band together to mob snakes, hawks, even monkeys. Tiny, furious clouds of color chasing giants away. It's like watching a cartoon rebellion in real life. And here's a fun fact. Their nests are dug straight into sandy banks, a tunnel up to 3 feet deep. That's a lot of work for a bird that weighs less than an apple. So yeah, cute, but built tough. The little bee-eater proves something simple. In nature, size means nothing when you've got courage and teamwork. It's not trying to be impressive. It just is. So what do you think? Is the little bee-eater Africa's cutest killer, or the underdog hero no one saw coming? Either way, it's a reminder that sometimes the smallest wings carry the biggest heart. If the little bee-eater was a pocket-sized ray of sunshine, then the blue-breasted kingfisher is the cool, mysterious one that shows up late and steals the scene. Think of it as the James Bond of Gabon's waterways. Sharp, silent, perfectly dressed in blue and deadly when it moves. You see that shimmering turquoise chest and electric blue wings? That's not just color, that's confidence. This bird perches like a sniper above the water, motionless for minutes until, bam! It dives headfirst, snatches a fish, and lands back on its branch as if nothing happened. No applause, no splash, just perfection. But here's the twist. Despite the name, the blue-breasted kingfisher doesn't live only by rivers. It hunts in mangroves, forests, even city parks. Water, insects, frogs, lizards. If it moves, it's dinner. Versatile, calm, and ruthless. Basically, the bird version of multitasking done right. Their call is something else too. A wild, cackling laugh that echoes through Gabon's mangroves. It sounds halfway between a monkey and a villain warming up for an evil plan. If Alfred Hitchcock made a nature documentary, this bird would get top billing. And that blue, it's not pigment, it's physics. Microscopic feather structures scatter light to create that electric glow. Change the angle, and the color shifts. So yeah, this bird doesn't wear blue. It bends light to make it. Nature's own optical illusionist. They mate for life, and both parents raise their chicks. A true power couple. You'll see them perched side by side, quiet, focused, like two assassins on a lunch break. But here's the thing that makes them unforgettable. That stare. When a kingfisher locks eyes with you, it's like it's scanning your soul to decide whether you're prey, competition, or just slow. So what do you think? Is the blue-breasted kingfisher the perfect predator, or just the coolest show-off in the jungle? Either way, one thing's for sure. In bird world, style and precision never go out of fashion. If the blue-breasted kingfisher is the sleek assassin of Gabon's rivers, then the African finfoot is the ghost. Quiet, secretive, and so rarely seen that some birdwatchers call it mythical. You could live by the same river for 20 years and never notice it gliding past your boat. And that's exactly how it likes it. The African finfoot doesn't do drama. It moves like smoke over still water, leaving barely a ripple behind. Long neck, spotted chest, bright orange feet. It's built for stealth. Those weirdly flat, lobed toes work like paddles, letting it slip through water without a sound. Not webbed like a duck, not clawed like a heron. Something in between, like evolution couldn't decide and just said, yeah, that'll do. It spends most of its life hidden in shadow, hugging the edges of slow rivers and flooded forests. When it senses danger, it doesn't fly. It vanishes. One flick and it's gone beneath the water, leaving only a ripple and a mystery behind. It's like watching a magician disappear mid-act. They're shy, solitary, and fiercely private. Even scientists struggle to study them. It's not rare because it's dying out. It's rare because it's too good at not being found. That's power, just a quieter kind. Fun fact, the finfoot's closest relatives aren't ducks or herons, but grebes. Yeah, those tiny diving birds from lakes halfway across the world. Nature has a weird sense of humor about family trees. And yet, despite all that elusiveness, it's essential to Gabon's ecosystem. By eating insects and small fish, it keeps the waterways clean and balanced. A silent janitor in paradise. So next time you see a calm stretch of river with nothing but the sound of dripping leaves, take another look. Something might be watching you back. So what do you think? Is the African finfoot a forgotten spirit of Gabon's rivers? Or just nature's best introvert? Either way, in bird world, sometimes the quietest wings tell the deepest stories. If the African finfoot is the ghost of the river, then the African darter is the showman who can't resist making an entrance. Locals in Gabon call it the snakebird, and the moment you see it, you'll understand why. Picture this. A long, shiny neck weaving through the water like a serpent, the rest of the body completely submerged. For a second, you think you've just spotted a snake. Then suddenly, whoosh, it bursts upward with a fish speared on its beak. No net, no hesitation. Pure underwater precision. This bird is built for the hunt. Its feathers don't repel water, they absorb it. That might sound like bad design, but it's actually genius. It lets the darter sink easily, swimming stealthily beneath the surface like an assassin in black. When it's done, it climbs onto a branch, spreads its wings wide, and stands there in the sunlight like some gothic angel drying off. It's half practical, half performance art. And those wings? They're mesmerizing. Dark bronze, almost metallic, glinting in the light like polished armor. If Batman were a bird, this would be him. But despite looking dramatic, the African darter is all about balance. A skilled diver, a patient hunter, and a surprisingly graceful flyer when it chooses to take off. You'll see them near Gabon's swamps, often sharing space with herons, egrets, and kingfishers. It's like a professional guild of fish assassins. Everyone has their role. Fun fact, they can stay underwater for up to a full minute, using their long, pointed beak like a harpoon. And if a fish wriggles loose, the darter just tosses it in the air and catches it head first. Dinner and a magic trick, all in one motion. So what do you think? Is the African darter a sleek river spirit, or just a very wet bird who knows how to work a spotlight? Either way, it's proof that in bird world, you don't need to be loud to make a splash. You just need style, timing, and a good fish story. After the sleek power of the African darter, it's time for some comic relief. Meet the western gray plantain-eater, the bird that sounds like it's laughing at its own jokes. Seriously, you'll hear it before you see it. A loud, rolling quay-quay-quay echoing across Gabon's gardens and villages. Like a parrot that just discovered stand-up comedy. Even people who've never seen one can imitate that laugh. It's that iconic. Visually, though, it's not trying to impress. No wild colors, no fancy feathers. Just soft gray plumage and a little crest that bobs when it moves. But don't let the dull color fool you. This bird's personality is pure chaos. It struts through fruit trees like it owns them, snatching bananas, figs, papayas, anything ripe. It's got the energy of someone who didn't pay for the buffet, but is eating like they did. They're social too, usually found in pairs or small family groups, hopping through branches while yelling like a sitcom cast. Every call sounds like gossip. You can almost hear one going, "Did you see what that hornbill did?" Here's a fun twist. Despite the name plantain-eater, they're not picky. They'll eat almost any fruit they can find, sometimes raiding farms and backyard trees. Farmers might not love them, but ecologists do, because every seed they drop helps the forest grow again. Once again, the loudest bird turns out to be the most useful one. They also have this adorable habit of sunbathing, spreading their wings like a fan, eyes closed, soaking up heat, looking like they're meditating after a big meal. Peaceful for about 10 seconds, and then another one starts laughing again. So what do you think? Is the western gray plantain-eater a fruit thief, a forest gardener, or just the class clown of Gabon? Whatever the answer, one thing's for sure. When the jungle gets too serious, this bird reminds everyone to take a break and laugh a little. After all that laughter from the plantain-eater, the forest hushes again, because now we enter the shadows, where one of Gabon's most mysterious voices calls out. Meet the Senegal cuckoo. The bird locals say carries both warning and wisdom. Its sound isn't a song, it's a pulse, a deep whoop, whoop, whoop that rolls through the grasslands before dawn, soft, haunting, and strangely human. You don't just hear it, you feel it in your chest. With its black head, chestnut wings, and long tail, the cuckoo looks like it was stitched together from night and fire. It moves low through the grass, sneaking between shadows, never in a hurry, like a detective who already knows how the story ends. But here's where it gets spooky. In Gabonese folklore, the cuckoo's call is said to predict rain. Some villagers call it the storm bird. Others think it warns of change, a shift in weather, or something deeper. Either way, when you hear that sound, you know the world is about to move. Unlike cuckoos that lay eggs in others' nests, the Senegal cuckoo raises its own young, a loyal parent, quietly defying its family's bad reputation. And yes, it is a cuckoo, just one that decided, nah, I'll do things my way. Gotta respect the rebel energy. Its diet, pure opportunism, frogs, snakes, insects, even small birds. It's nature's cleanup crew. Not glamorous, but absolutely essential. Without cuckoos, Gabon's grasslands would be crawling with pests. And the way it moves, silent, steady, eyes sharp, you can tell this bird knows it doesn't need to prove anything. It's the calm before every storm, the whisper between the jungle's loudest notes. So what do you think? Is the Senegal cuckoo a dark omen, or the quiet guardian of Gabon's balance? Either way, in bird world, not every mystery hides in the trees. Some walk quietly through the grass, watching, waiting, and reminding us that even shadows have wings. And just when you think you've met every kind of bird in Gabon, the fierce, the funny, the mysterious, along comes the Diederik Cuckoo, smiling sweetly, and plotting something behind your back. It's gorgeous, a shimmering little jewel of green, bronze, and white, with eyes that sparkle like it knows a secret. And oh, it does, because this bird is the rainforest's greatest con artist. While most birds spend weeks building nests, guarding eggs, raising chicks, the Diederik Cuckoo skips the parenting drama entirely. It simply sneaks into another bird's nest, lays its egg, and vanishes before anyone notices. The host parents, none the wiser, raise the imposter chick as their own. Efficient? Definitely. Ethical? Not even close. It's the Netflix password borrower of the bird world, surviving on charm, stealth, and impeccable timing. And here's the fun twist. The cuckoo chick hatches first and often kicks out the real eggs, claiming all the food and attention. Cold? Maybe. But in nature, survival is the only rule that counts. Still, you can't help but admire it. This tiny mastermind has evolved an entire strategy around trickery, complete with perfectly timed mimicry and camouflage. Its eggs even look like the host bird's eggs. A crime so perfect, it deserves a nature documentary of its own. In Gabon, locals sometimes call it the deceiver, a symbol of both cleverness and mischief. Because honestly, it's hard not to respect a bird that wins the game without ever playing by the rules. But here's where it gets philosophical. Is that deceit or genius? The Diederik Cuckoo doesn't lie for fun. It lies to survive. And in the wild, that might just make it the smartest bird of all. So what do you think? Is the Diederik Cuckoo nature's villain, or just the ultimate strategist? Because in bird world, beauty might get you noticed, but brains and timing, they'll keep your family fed, even if it's someone else doing the feeding. And there you have it. 15 of the rarest, boldest, and most unforgettable wings in Gabon's wild skies. From the thunder cry of the African fish eagle to the silent grace of the finfoot, from the gossiping plantain-eater to the cunning Diederik Cuckoo. Every one of them proves that Gabon isn't just a country on the map. It's a living concert between jungle, river, and sky. Some birds made us laugh, some showed us love and loyalty, and a few made us question what fair even means in nature. But that's what makes the bird world so fascinating. Every feather hides a story, every sound carries a secret. So now it's your turn. Which one stole your heart? Was it the fearless, the colorful, or the downright sneaky? Drop your answer in the comments below, because I'm betting even Mother Nature would love to know. Until next time, keep your eyes to the sky, your curiosity wide open, and remember, in bird world, there's always another secret waiting to fly by.